And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should any emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today, we're currently featuring over 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's KC9VKV followed by the word Highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is I have the actual audio masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector, and today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant dipole runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to a local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I do. I almost got in here a little bit late, but I'm copying you up to 20 over 9 direct. A very, very good signal. I've been working on my 40-meter quad, working on that. I've got it better. I still have a little more work to do. However, I did talk to Captain Mike, I think it was 2 days ago, and he was flying out near over Nebraska. However, I was also on this morning, and I worked VK2SR, VK2 Sugar Radio, Chris, down near the capital of Australia, just south of Melbourne. Not Melbourne, but just south of Canberra, the capital, where he was describing all the tremendous rains they've had there. It's been very, very wet lately. If you copy okay, Jim, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Charlie, I got you 30 over on Milford. Roger, roger.
Charlie, I got you 30 over on Milford. Roger, roger.
Okay, here's first Captain Mike.
Right now, in western Nebraska, about 220 miles northeast of Colorado Springs at 36,000, and showing right now 960 miles to Sacramento. So we should be on the ground there at about 9:15 your time, and you're 5-9 plus Charlie, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Charlie, we're on 9869 calling KW2 Transceiver 5 and 10. Great to hear you, buddy, and I wondered how you were going. I turned 6060 yesterday, Charlie. So you're a little bit in front of me, buddy. So, but great to hear you. And glad to know you're okay. I'm really pleased to catch you here tonight. All fine down here. It's been a very wet winter and spring. We've had record rain, buddy. And the east coast of EK's been smashed with water for the last 6 months, Charlie. But otherwise, all very good. And, no, great to hear you, buddy. It's been a while. And, trust you're feeling much better now, pal. K1GZL, VK2, Sugar Radio.
Okay, there we are. I hope that came through, Jim. And good to have the quad back on. KC9VKV, K1GZL, mostly cloudy. Temperature outside is 60 degrees. That seems to be our high today, and we have quite a bit of rain coming in this evening. Quiet early tomorrow, and then Saturday night and Sunday morning we may have some snow showers. In the middle of next week we may get maybe 2 or 3 inches of snow, but so far no snow. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Got both recordings perfectly. It sounded like maybe there was a little bit less impulse noise on your Australian contact. Roger.
On your Australian contact. Roger.
Oh, the line noise was there. The line noise was there. No, wait a minute. No, this was 40 meters. That was 40 meters. I don't have the line noise generally on 40. It's 20 that I have the line noise. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, there's a decided impulse noise difference between Captain Mike and your Australian contact, and the Australian contact was just a little cleaner. Roger.
Contact was just a little cleaner. Roger.
Oh yeah. I can imagine. I corrected one little problem I had with the quad. I found out where it was jammed, and I unjammed the driven element, so it's lining up a little better. I still have more work to do, but it is lining up better. But you're doing very well in here direct. I don't know how you're hearing me direct, but from your backyard. Go ahead.
Roger, I just moved over to my local antenna, my dipole, and you were pretty heavy there. Why don't you come back for just a minute and let me check my local antennas.
Okay, let's see if you're getting me in down in, Virginia, Rochester, Milford, or down in Atlanta. So that would be interesting if we were hitting Atlanta. So that would be interesting if we were hitting. It's good to have it back again, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, I ran everywhere, boy. You were everywhere. You were heaviest on my dipole antenna. It looked to be about 12 over or so on my dipole. You were down in Georgia and Arlington and Rochester, but heaviest on Milford. You were about 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Heaviest on Milford. You were about 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Okay, let's see how you're coming. I recorded you. Wait a minute.
You were everywhere. You were heaviest on my dipole antenna. It looked to be about 12 over or so on my dipole. You were down in Georgia and Arlington and Rochester, but heaviest on Milford. You were about 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Okay, how'd that come in, Jim? Go.
Perfect, Charlie. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Always a pleasure to hear the audio come back and be very good. And your recordings are always very good. Roger.
And your recordings are always very good. Roger.
Well, thank you very, very much. Yeah, you're peaking just a little over 20 over 9 and about a 5 over 7 dB over on my cloud warmer, which I had been using previously. Okay, well look, I'll sign with you on this one. I want to thank you very much for picking me up today, and your audio is absolutely perfect. The way I have you coming in, the speaker here is the way I see you, or at least, where I see you when I'm down in Lancaster, where I can see you on the YouTube. You sound exactly the same coming out of I have a large speaker on the wall just to the right of the window, and it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable how the same, how the identity of your voice coming out of that speaker and hear you, on the air. I mean, it's the same. Okay, Jim, I'll say the very, very best, and I still have more work to do on different antennas. I've got a lot of more work, and I may be running out of time as the weather is going to start catching up to us. So far, we've had none. However, things are going to change very. KC9VKV, K1Gs, KC9VKV, K1Gs and L. Always a pleasure, Jim. Always.
Roger, Charlie. Thank you so very much for dropping by and opening up our show. And I just ran up on my local antenna right at the end of your last transmission, and you look to be about 20 over on my dipole. So just FYI. 73 of That Way, Charlie. We'll catch you next Friday, hopefully. And just a reminder, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout, and we'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in the series. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. You'll have to check it out. KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. And without further ado, let's open it up now. We are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Okay, it's Kilo Alpha 4, Zulu.
Is that Zulu?
City of Commerce.
Is that Zulu?
55-foot vertical, ground-mounted vertical. Go ahead.
That KA4ZZZ. KA4ZZZ. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
4ZZZ. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
Kilo Alpha 4 Zebra. Do you copy KC9VKV?
4 Zebra. Do you copy KC9VKV?
Yeah, hey, hang on a minute here. Let me turn on some power. You'll be able to hear me a little bit better. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Is that a little bit better right there?
Yes, sir. A lot. So who we got there?
Yes, sir. A lot. So who we got there?
Okay, the name is David, and I'm located down in the City of Commerce. And I'm on a 55-foot vertical. It looks like the power output is right at about 300. Go ahead.
Okay, David, and what state are you in there?
Okay, David, and what state are you in there?
I'm in the state of Georgia.
Alrighty, and what radio are you running?
Georgia.
Alrighty, and what radio are you running?
I'm on an ICOM 7300.
Alrighty, David, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, starts with you verifying that you're in that 100 to 2900 wide transmit bandpass mode. 100 to 2900, roger.
100 to 2900, roger.
Roger, on there.
Alrighty, then move to your compressor on and add a 3. Compression on and add a 3.
On and add a 3. Compression on and add a 3.
Okay, that's on at 3.
Yes, sir. Now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it. Stretch the part out and then adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain manipulation as you say the magic word audio.
Mic gain manipulation as you say the magic word audio.
Okay, here we go. Audio. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio. Okay, that mic gain's about 28%.
Yes, sir. The important thing is the ALC be running at that 2/3 scale on the meter, Roger.
That 2/3 scale on the meter, Roger.
Roger, Roger. 1, 2. Audio. 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 Audio.
Looks pretty good here.
2/3 right there, close to it.
Looks pretty good here.
All right, let's move to your equalizer page. Let's move to your equalizer page now, Roger.
Equalizer page. Let's move to your equalizer page now, Roger.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, testing. Should be there. Go ahead.
Alrighty, and what's your treble EQ setting right now?
And what's your treble EQ setting right now?
Triple sitting at +5.
Alrighty. Again, please tell me the best thing you like about your 7300 in about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me listen to you.
7300 in about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me listen to you.
Oh, okay. It's a pretty versatile radio. I spent a lot of time on digital. This will be good getting this thing together.
There we go. David, I had a little technical thing I had to take care of there. I was copying you fairly well. Now, I'm monitoring you on a Georgia SDR, but I did have a little bit of fading, so I don't know exactly how far you might be away from this SDR, but I am copying you best on that Georgia SDR. It sounds like your EQ curves is pretty good. I just want to find out a little bit more, if I can hear you, maybe conditions be just better this time, and find out if we need to do anything on the baseline. I think it's pretty good, but I want to hear you just a little bit more, Roger.
In the baseline, I think it's pretty good, but I want to hear you just a little bit more, Roger.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. I'm also, with this ICOM, I'm running a PTRX to get on my computer screen. I have the R player to see it on my computer screen, and that is really nice because I can just move it all around and never really have to dial up the radio.
Yes, sir, David. Okay, what are you running on your base EQ right at the moment?
David, okay, what are you running on your base EQ right at the moment?
Okay, the base is on 3.
+3?
No, correction. The base is on -3.
+3?
-3.
-3. Okay, make it a negative. Bring it up to 0, plus or minus 0. It's flat. And let me hear you flat. Roger, Roger?
-0. It's flat. And let me hear you flat. Roger, Roger?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, gas at 0. Testing 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. The cow jumped over the moon and the dish ran away with the spoon.
Roger, Roger. You were about 7 over Georgia SDR's noise level. Now you're about 3, so I don't have as good a copy on you as I did just a moment ago, but I think you were a little shy on the bottom end there. I think flat may be the place to be. I would like a little more top end, but you're out of EQ on the top end. Let's see. What I would suggest maybe is that you pull back off mic about 1 inch further back off mic than where you were, and let's see if we can get a little bit better top end. So that'll be 1 inch further back off mic than you normally run, and let me hear you.
Further back off mic than you normally run, and let me hear you.
Okay. That's about 1 inch back. I see the power's going off a little bit more, so maybe that helps. Let me see how far back I am, actually. I'm probably about 4 inches back from it right now. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. So that would mean that you're normally running at about 3 inches back off mic. Is that a Roger?
Running at about 3 inches back off mic. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, close. I mean, you know how it is when you're talking on the radio, but it's actually about where I'm running it right now is where I'm usually at.
All right, David, what I want you to do now is go back to your ALC and double-check your level where you were just a moment ago as far as working that mic. It does sound better. You're a little bit further off mic, but I want to get your audio level up if we need to. So double-check your ALC level now at that new mic level setting or position.
Now, at that new mic level setting or position.
Okay. The cow jumped over the moon, and the dish ran away with the spoon. And hold on a minute here. I've turned my mic gain down to about 31% now, and I'm running about 2/3 on the ALC right now. So I did turn the mic gain down about a notch. It was at 33, and I went down to 31.
Alrighty, I think it's as long as the main thing is that your ALC is running 2/3. It doesn't really make any difference, or it does make a difference, but the mic gain setting is not the important part. The important part is the how it affects the ALC, and we want that mic level to be at 2/3. You know, as you do that audio set on your ALC with your mic gain control.
Set on your ALC with your mic gain control.
Okay. Audio. Oh, my. I'm down to 25% now, mic gain.
Roger. Okay. Well, you know, the thing is, don't stress that word audio. You say it just as you would say any other word in a QSO. It's just that you elongate the part to set level. You're a human signal generator, Roger.
Part to set level. You're a human signal generator, Roger.
Hey, Roger, on that. My RF power in is about 41 watts into the SB200. So. Not driving it really hard there, and just talking just like this right here, it's running right at 2/3.
Roger. Well, that's where we want it. Now, if you need to snug up on your 220, you know, just take your RF up just a tad. But we want that radio to be running ALC at 2/3 and your compressor at 3, and that'll give you a 3 dB dynamic range, and that means your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%, which is loud, but it's very clean. You know, if you pass that 3 dB point in audio level, then the words start to blur, and so we want to keep it right at 3 dB, which means your words are crystal clear, but they're very loud, Roger.
3 dB, which means your words are crystal clear, but they're very loud, Roger.
Hey, Roger, on that, does this seem to be pretty clear to you right now? I mean, is there anything around the edges that you think need cleaned up or anything like that?
No, it sounds really clean, and that bottom end EQ up at flats sounds nice too, Roger.
EQ up at flats sounds nice too, Roger.
Roger, do you think I should move the EQ up a little bit more?
I don't think you have any more top end. You're on a 7300, so +5 is max on your treble EQ, Roger.
7300, so +5 is max on your treble EQ, Roger.
Yeah, I mean on the bass side, do you think I should move the bass up any, or just leave that just like it is?
Well, I tell you, I would leave it where it is. You're better than where you were, and I'm not a real proponent of heavy bottom ends, because what happens is Mother Nature sometimes has a tendency to bend stuff back, not all at the same place. So sometimes you get half of it bent back at a certain time, and another large piece gets bent back in a little bit later in time, and so when they both come back down and coincide at the receive point, they could be slightly out of phase with each other, and phase cancellation starts at the top end of the audio spectrum and works its way down. So the first thing to go in your audio is your top end, and so then you're left, if you have a heavy bass line, then you're left with just Mr. Mumbles and Bumbles, Roger.
Line, then you're left with just Mr. Mumbles and Bumbles, Roger.
Yeah, I don't want to be Mr. Mumble Bumble. Yeah, I want people to be able to understand me when I'm chatting with them. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. We can always take you down there, but right now I think you're very clear, very clean, and the thing is, there's a lot of adversity facing us on ham radio. There's a lot of times that we are in a less than perfect position. We have somebody 2 kc off our transmit frequency just banging us to death, and then we have lightning storms and all kinds of noise and the can openers and just a bunch of non-necessary, yeah, but just a bunch of stuff that is competing with our words, and so we want to keep our words just as clean as possible, that even though we might be buried in noise and all these problems, folks can still hear us, but more importantly, they can understand us, Roger.
Can still hear us, but more importantly, they can understand us, Roger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that 100%. I'm about 4 inches away from the microphone right now.
Roger. I would say you could go between 3 and 4, somewhere in there, but I wouldn't come up close on it, because there's a thing called proximity effect, and that means that as you come closer to that mic, you have a bass buildup. And so I would stay about 3 inches. Right now, you sound really good at about 3 or 4 inches off mic or back from mic, Roger.
Really good at about 3 or 4 inches off mic or back from mic, Roger.
Hey, Roger, on that. It's an ICMBG, just to let you know, the microphone. And I do have the pad on the front to do some filtering there.
Yes, sir, the windscreen. That I suggest that the windscreen for everybody. That foam windscreen just does such a magnificent job. We were on one here, and I'm right up on mic right now, and no plosives or anything, And that's a beautiful thing about those foam windscreens, man. They take all the bad stuff out and just leave the good stuff, Roger.
Take all the bad stuff out and just leave the good stuff, Roger.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to one operator one time without the screen on there, and he goes, if you have a wind screen, go ahead and put that back on the microphone. So, it definitely does help, for sure.
Yes, sir. So I've heard some stations that they're QRMing themselves. They have more mouth noise than they do actual words, and it's really unfortunate because, I guess they never have a chance to listen to themselves or have any concept of what's really going out on the air, Roger.
Have any concept of what's really going out on the air, Roger?
Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. And I see crazy signals around the band all the time. Okay, if it sounds good, I'll fine clear with you. I know that there's probably somebody else out there that definitely needs your radio help.
Roger, David. Well, your 3 dB dynamic range really look good on the meter here. I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter for it'll tell me what your dynamic range is. So more the meter hangs, the fatter you are. So you're right at 3 dB, which is about as fat as you can get before, if you pushed it harder, your words would start to blur, and we don't want that. And I'm also running on a spectrum analyzer, which is looking at the output of your audio and my audio, matter of fact. So again, if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by tomorrow around noontime. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded by tomorrow around noontime. Roger?
Hey, Roger on that. Hey, that sounds really great. And I really appreciate your help there. People will be able to hear me a little bit better now. And the main thing too, the other thing too, I want to make sure I stay within 3 kilohertz. I've seen stations outside running 4 kilohertz and whatnot, but I don't think it's really needed. And besides, I can't do that on a 7300 anyway.
Roger. Well, that's when we suggest 100 to 2900. That's called wide, and that's where we want to be. We want to maximize the performance capability of the radio, and that 100 to 2900 is the best performance rating that you can run it. And hopefully, it will not be causing a problem. I have not heard it be causing a problem. So, that would be the best way to run that radio, because what happens is when you start in those lesser modes, other than 100 to 2900, you start chopping off the top end of your audio, and that is where the intelligibility is. So we want to run that radio at 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. Roger.
Radio at 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. Roger.
Hey, Roger on that. Roger on that. Okay, well, I thank you very much for your help today. I'll be looking forward to hearing the audio, and I'm going to let you grab somebody else. I'm sure there's somebody. Hey, thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, David, 73 down that way, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. KBPQM, Cleveland, Ohio, checking in.
Station QQM, I believe it was. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
QM, I believe it was. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign. Kilo, Bravo, 8, Papa, Quebec, Mike, KBPQM, and the name is Broken Old Bottles, Bob.
Roger, Bob, and where are you located again, sir?
Roger, Bob, and where are you located again, sir? I'm located in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm hearing myself on the Georgia SDR about 15 over 9.
Yes, sir, Bob. And what radio are you running?
Yes, sir, Bob. And what radio are you running? I'm running a 7300, going in at about 18 watts to a HLA 300 plus solid state amplifier, pushing out about 400 watts into an inverted fan dipole on top of my sweet gum tree, my biological tower, and there's wire on it with a flat match for 20 and 40.
Roger, Bob. Well, it sounds like you might be hot into your ALC a little bit, so if you would, let's run through a few things that you can check out, and we'll get you squared away there. First is verification that you're in that 100 to 2900 broad transmit bandpass mode. 100 to 2900, Roger.
Transmit bandpass mode. 100 to 2900, Roger. Roger, but I'm not changing anything to suit your ear. Okay, I've tuned it myself the way I like it by listening to other SDR sites, and I can go on other SDR sites and push the record button and record myself and play myself back, and I've everything fine-tuned. In fact, I've even took a MIG welder and welded the screws on the case so I can't take it apart.
Well, you're about 2 dB, 1.5 to 2 dB dynamic range, and you should be about 3 dBs. You're very hot into your ALC, and it's causing some distortion, but that, again, if that's the way you want to run it.
Causing some distortion, but that, again, if that's the way you want to run it. My LLC meter right now, I've pushed the button, the menu button, okay, and I'm running 50% on the LAC. 50%. It's right up to the 50 mark. There's no hotter than that.
On your 7300 ALC, you're running 50. You sound like you're much hotter than that into your 7300 ALC.
Like you're much hotter than that into your 7300 ALC. Well, you see, the problem is when you go into an amplificator
which is a word that I've coined for amplifier, through the electronic circuits with the filtering and what have you, the circuits inside the amplifier, everything changes.
Well, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Things should be linear. That's why they call it a linear power amplifier. Things should not change drastically just because you're going through a power amplifier. You have to have the proper setup of the radio first, Roger.
You have to have the proper setup of the radio first, Roger.
Right, what are you listening to me on? What is your outfit? I'm listening to you right now on an ICOM communications receiver. Cost me $285. Can you believe that for a speaker?
I'm listening to you on a full-range audio system from 50 cycles on up. But the point is that you're really hot into your ALC. So, and if you don't want to, if you want to run it that way, then fine, sir. Thanks for dropping by, Roger.
If you want to run it that way, then fine, sir. Thanks for dropping by, Roger.
Okay, I wanted to run it this way. This is the way it is. It is what it is, and it's not going to change. So I'm happy with what I got, the way I do it. So you have a great day. And it's kind of funny. I'm passing notice that these fools think that they can take a single sideband transmitter and transmit FM quality audio. That dog don't hunt. You can't get there from here.
Apparently you can't because you don't set up your radio correctly. You're really hot into your ALC or into your compressor. I can't tell which, but your dynamic range is about 1.5 dB, and you should be only 3 dB dynamic range. When you pass 3 dB dynamic range, your audio quality words start to bend and distort. And that's not good. And that's why that you have such a low opinion of sideband radio, because you're not operating it correctly, sir. But we appreciate that. 73, thanks for dropping by. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Not according to my oscilloscope, I'm not. You have a good day. And I wish you'd go get that golden ear checked. You need to get your hearing checked. KBPQM clear.
You need to go back to 7200.
You need to get a life.
I got one, brother.
Yeah, you don't express it.
Man can't hear his distortion. That's his problem.
Man can't hear his distortion. That's his problem.
Yep. And I don't hear any distortion. I'm listening to myself on the Georgia SDR, and I sound fine. Maybe it's your golden ear. Maybe I don't have the golden ear. KBPQM.
Obviously you don't. This is a control network, and I am net control. This is KC9VKV Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You're a broadcaster. If you have a radio, go to my website and listen to go on my YouTube channel. You're a broadcaster. That's how you are. It's a broadcaster.
This is a controlled net, and I am net control.
Dr. Delta, can I get an audio critique? Get yourself a commercial radio station or buy some time on a shortwave station.
This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net. I am net control, please.
Qso-Vlog net. I am net control, please.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We're recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
All right. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Okay, Whiskey 8, Oscar Delta. The name is Lance. I'm in Southeast Michigan, and I'd like a critique on the audio. I've been playing with this radio some time with the internal monitor and the headphones, but not sure it sounds as great as it could be.
All right, Lance, let's first verify that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode. 100 to 2900, Roger. If you're not sure, just take a note and you can check it later. But we want to be that transmitter in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode, Roger.
In the 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode, Roger.
Well, I'm not sure there's a menu selection in this radio. The ICOM 756 Pro 2. I don't think there's a bandpass selection in this radio.
Roger. Do you know what your bandpass is then? What your specs are on your bandpass?
Your bandpass is then what your specs are on your bandpass?
1, 2, 3.
This is a controlled network. We're talking to Lance, W8OD, in Michigan. Lance, what is the bandpass of your radio transmitter?
Michigan. Lance, what is the bandpass of your radio transmitter?
I'd have to look in the manual. It's whatever the manufacturer default setting is.
Yes, sir. Well, if you have, you should know that and check it out with your owner's manual or whatever. We want to be in the best mode possible, highest mode, up to 100 to 2900 if your transmitter is capable of that. All right, move to your compressor. As part of our setup, it starts with a compressor being engaged at just a 3. 3 on your compressor, a 3 out of 30, 3 out of 10, or 30 out of 100, depending on how your compressor is labeled. We just want a third of it, something that you'll never really hear on the air. If you get more than a third of your compressor, then it starts pumping between words. So we just want that compressor at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
That's the compressor at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
1, 2.
Okay, well, the compressor is off. It is in the off mode. It has 3 settings, low, medium, and high. And it's currently off.
All right, we want you to set that on the low setting. Low setting. Roger, Roger?
On the low setting. Low setting. Roger, Roger?
Okay, there's on and, narrow setting.
Okay, that affects your EQ. So that you can't just turn your compressor on without affecting your EQ?
You can't just turn your compressor on without affecting your EQ?
Well, I don't know. This radio doesn't have any fancy modern-day functions like equalizer and stuff in it. I can set the transmit audio tones, bass and treble, and turn the compressor on or off. And there's a compression adjustment here.
Lance, I'll tell you what, buddy, I would just take that compressor off because it's messing with your EQ. So just turn the compressor off. We just needed a token amount of compression anyway, so you're better off without that compressor, Roger.
On a compression anyway, so you're better off without that compressor, Roger.
Okay, it's off.
Yes, sir. Okay, now what I want you to do is move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, and you say the word, don't stress it, just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO. Stretch out the part. You are a human signal generator, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Roger, just a second. Okay, hello. Yeah, that's a little high.
Word is audio. Audio. Stretch out the A, audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3.
Adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3.
Okay, audio. That's about 40. Audio. There you go.
All righty, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system so that I can listen to your audio, Roger?
Seconds and tell me about your antenna system so that I can listen to your audio, Roger?
Okay, the antenna is a simple coax-fed dipole at 30 feet, and about 100 feet of feed line, 85 feet. And hello, 1, 2, I guess it works.
Alrighty, now let's move to your equalization page. Move to your equalization page, Roger.
Equalization page. Move to your equalization page, Roger.
Yeah, I'm looking through the menus here. There's no equalization that I can see.
Roger, Roger. Now, Lance, I'm hearing a suck up in your audio. It sounds like your compressor is on, or you're really hot into your ALC, one or the other. But you are gaining in silence. You're sucking up audio in silence. So your compressor's on a number one, or you're really hot into your ALC. Usually ALC is a very fast attack and release limiter. So it sounds more like your ALC circuit, your compressor circuit is still in. Double check that, Roger.
I'm sorry, your compressor circuit is still in. Double check that, Roger.
Okay, I've got a little blower motor fan, computer blower motor behind the radio here. I turned it off and moved to the side, so maybe that'll take care of that background air noise.
I'll tell you what, why don't you give me a key for 3? Don't say anything. Just key up for 3 seconds and let me hear you. Don't say anything, though. Just key for 3.
Up for 3 seconds and let me hear you. Don't say anything, though. Just key for 3.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like your compressor could still be on. Is that possible? Double check that.
Is that possible? Double check that.
It's off. It's a display right in the corner of the screen on the radio there. It says off.
Yes, sir. Okay. It's very strange, but I didn't think you were hot into your ALC. You don't sound hot into your ALC, so a phenomenon. Anyway, and you don't have any equalizing page or equalization on that radio. Is that a Roger?
Page equalization on that radio. Is that a Roger?
Negative. Well, yeah, that's a Roger. No equalization that I know of.
All right. How close are you working that microphone?
All right. How close are you working that microphone?
I'm about 3 inches from it.
Yes, sir. Just at a test, let's pull off 5 inches from that mic, and just let me hear you just the way it is, but just pull off an additional 2 inches from where you normally work it. Let me hear you.
Just pull off an additional 2 inches from where you normally work it. Let me hear you.
All right, this is Whiskey 8 Oscar Delta with the test transmission to find out what kind of audio quality I have here. I'm leaning back in the chair about maybe 6 inches from the microphone.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit better further off, but that blower can you do something with the blower? It's right there in back of you, and it tends to want to dominate in the QSO. So, I don't know. Is that an outboard blower to something or what?
I don't know. Is that an outboard blower to something or what?
Yeah, it's just the blower, cooling fan, and the amplifier. That's only noise in the shack other than me talking.
Roger, Roger. Well, normally I would suggest that you work tighter mic, pull your volume down, work tighter mic, and that would increase your signal-to-noise ratio over the blower. But you sound bassy when you get tight mic, and that's proximity effect at work there. So it's one of those things where probably if you had in your druthers later on, ability to get a condenser mic with a windscreen. That's what I would suggest. That would help your top end since you don't have any onboard EQ. Electret condenser microphone would just start with a whole lot better top end response that would probably make up for not having any onboard EQ gear. And the windscreen would allow you to move right in on that mic without having any mouth noise. Roger, Roger?
Right in on that mic without having any mouth noise. Roger, Roger?
Okay, I did just adjust transmit audio tone bass level down. It was set at 4. I turned it down to 2. And I'm back a little closer to the mic. So I don't know if that's helping any. I could drop it down a little more.
Yes, sir. Well, you do have tone control. That's what equalization is all about. It's tone control. Roger, Roger. Now, do you have a top-end tone control?
It's tone control. Roger, Roger. Now, do you have a top-end tone control?
Well, it's set up in the menu here. It's labeled SSB transmit tone bass and SSB transmit tone treble. Treble is currently at 0 and the bass is at 2.
Roger, Roger. Now we want to take that bass to 0, plus or minus 0. No gain, no cut, flat. And then we want to take that top end EQ and we want to boost it plus 3 from where it is. So you're going to go 3 clicks more boost on your treble EQ than where you are. Plus 3 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are.
Than where you are. Plus 3 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are.
Okay, there's 0 on the bass and 3 on the treble.
Well, Lance, hey, we're coming on board, Roger, Roger, sounding much better. What was happening was we needed a little more top end for clarity and articulation, and that really helped a great deal, Roger.
Articulation, and that really helped a great deal, Roger. For sure.
Okay, well, thanks for your help. Anything to improve the audio quality here and make it sound more personable to everyone on the air. So I appreciate your time, and yeah, thank you. It's hard to tell just using headphones through the monitor on the radio. You're talking and listening to yourself at the same time, and it resonates through your own ears, and hard to tell. So thanks for your time.
Yes, sir, Lance. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Yes, sir, Lance. And what radio are you running today, sir?
It's the ICOM 756 Pro 2.
Roger, Roger, Lance. All right. Well, if you want to hear your audio and the difference between the beginning and the end, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and this will be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Aircheck recordings, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yeah, thanks a lot, and I do appreciate it. And I've got the standard ICOM SM20 desktop mic, and I do have the foam rubber windsock on it, and it's pretty flimsy. It's not much foam rubber there, but I guess it does knock out a lot of your, inhale and exhale type of background. So. Okay, thanks again. This is Whiskey 8 Oscar Delta. I'm happy to have made some improvement.
Roger, Roger, Lance. That is a foam windscreen, and the major purpose of that is to reduce plosives and mouth noise, not necessarily breaths in and out, although it does do that to some degree, but mainly it takes up and eliminates the plosives and the mouth noises that we have, and that's why I suggest that everybody should be running a foam windscreen on their mic, because it just takes all of the bad stuff out and certainly is the good stuff. Anyway, Lance, 73, sir, thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, drop by next Friday. We'd love to have you. 73. This is Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Echo 3, Papa Charlie.
Papa Charlie Papa, you kind of broke up, buddy. I think that was Papa Charlie Papa.
You kind of broke up, buddy. I think that was Papa Charlie Papa.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. It's Victor Echo 3, Papa Charlie Papa. I'm just on my way home from work, and maybe I had a bit of a blip in the cell phone connection, but anyway, just wanted to drop in and say good afternoon. B3 PCP.
Roger, PCP. That was solid. Must have been some gremlins in the beginning of the QSO, Roger.
Some gremlins in the beginning of the QSO, Roger.
Yeah, it could have been. Well, I'm using my remote, so depending on cell phone connectivity while I'm driving, so you know how that goes sometimes. Bye.
Roger. I'm copying you 7 dB over Milford, PA SDR noise level. Roger.
Over Milford, PA SDR noise level. Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, appreciate you taking the time to reply, and I will let you get back to other stations that need your help. Appreciate it. So we'll talk to you again. 7-3, KC9VKV, B3 PCP.
Roger, sir, 73 up there in Northland. You have a good trip. I'm assuming you're headed home there, so 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. WA4, yes.
I think there was a WA4 something station to come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Something station to come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey Alpha 4 X-ray. Handle is Sunny. I'm in Zephyr Hill, Florida. Go ahead.
Roger, Sonny, why don't you give me a 10 on your antenna system, and let me check around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Antenna system, and let me check around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Sonny, WA4 something X. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
4 something X. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 4 Echo X 100 watts, and I'm using a G5RV antenna, so no amplifier to get to you stronger. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to check down in Georgia, see if I might copy you better in Georgia, but you're what's your location?
You better in Georgia, but what's your location?
30 miles northeast of Tampa.
Roger, sunny Florida. So that's why I thought I might check you down in Georgia, but you're just dropping right over Georgia, just flying right over Georgia. I'm picking you up on the Milford, PA SDR, and you're about 5 clicks over noise level on Milford. Roger.
Clicks over noise level on Milford. Roger.
Milford? I don't know where that's at. I guess you're using some of the computer. I guess, I don't know what it is. Probably the client, the computer client that we use. We use one from Alabama. He's over in Birmingham, Alabama. We use that for our 7240 club, which I'm a NCS of, and also the ambassadors for ChristNet. We use that remote also. And we have several in Georgia that we can use as well. Okay, well, I just heard you in there. I thought you had a good signal. You're coming and going. Band's trying to change on us, I do believe. And you had a lot of folks calling you, so I'll let you get to some of them that you can hear better. Thank you so much, 73. May God bless you, WA4EX.
Roger, Sonny, WA4 something, EX, is it EX?
Sonny, WA for something, EX, is it EX?
Yeah, Echo X-ray, Whiskey Alpha 4, Echo X-ray.
Echo X-ray, Roger, Roger. I got you, Sonny, and I did pick you up. I went back to Georgia, and you were there, so you must have just been temporarily overflying Georgia, but you are a lot cleaner in Georgia now. So what we normally do here is assist folks in setups. And what radio are you running today, Sonny?
Assist folks in setups. And what radio are you running today, Sonny?
I'm running a FTDX-10. I got struck by lightning a little over a month ago. Lost my 991 Alpha, my 50-amp Astron power supply, my Ameritron amplifier, everything. It just took out everything. We knocked out one side of the house. All the circuit breakers were blown. I had to replace all them. It was a direct hit. Hit the pole outside and came in on the ground. And, well, I was sitting here, and all of a sudden I heard a bang, and the room was filled with smoke. And it was, of course, sort of a gray smoke. And that was my 991 Alpha and my big power supply and amplifier, computer, monitor, everything. I mean, it eated up there. Blew the socket right out of the wall, go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I'm copying about 6 dB over on my Georgia SDR. Yeah, we run with 4 internet SDRs. We monitor Rochester, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia. And we have that on a selector on our audio input plus our own local audio. So in about a second, we can run across the country and check different situations and what's hot and what's not. Roger, Roger.
Different situations and what's hot and what's not. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I'm only using 100 watts, and a G5RB up about 60 feet. All righty, well, I'll let you get to some others, so take care. WA4EX, I'm clear.
Roger, Roger, Sonny. Thanks for dropping by, sir. That antenna must be running east and west. That antenna must be running east and west because you're really blowing smoke up this way, Roger. I shouldn't say that with your recent experience. Let me rephrase that. You're very loud up this way.
Recent experience. Let me rephrase that. You're very loud up this way.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more smoke. I've had enough of the smoke. Today, a thunderstorm came through and CNAS storm system is up in Georgia now. And, boy, I tell you, I was disconnecting stuff like crazy. It sure taught me a lesson. I've been struck before, but I always had it grounded so well. But this time it came in on the ground from the power company and blew out the surge protector on the pole and everything. It used to be gray, now it's black. Alrighty, I'll let you get to some others, WA4EX. Thank you for picking me up.
Roger, Roger, Sonny 73 down that way. My former home was down in West Palm as a child. As a mere child, that was my stomping grounds, West Palm Beach and thereabouts. 73, Sonny, you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call at a search for KC9VKV, followed by KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow on YouTube. Roger, Roger?
Uploaded by noon tomorrow on YouTube. Roger, Roger?
Roger, Roger. Thank you so much. WA4EX.
Roger, Roger, Sunny 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Bravo Hotel.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Bravo Hotel. Roger, Roger.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Bravo Hotel. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Alrighty, why don't you, what's the name there?
Alrighty, why don't you, what's the name there? Cliff.
Roger, Roger, Cliff, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Roger, Cliff, and where are you located, sir?
I'm in West Florida, West
Florida, Pensacola, Florida, the land of the Blue Angels, which they just finished an air show today. Over.
Yes, sir. Florida, and what radio are you running, Cliff?
Yes, sir. Florida, and what radio are you running, Cliff?
This is KC9VKV. Cliff, are you still copy?
This is KC9VKV. Cliff, are you still copy?
Yes, sir. I have a Sun SDR2DX radio. Over.
SDR2DX, is that a Roger?
SDR2DX, is that a Roger?
Yes, sir. It's made by Expert Electronics. Over.
All righty, sir. If you're interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you verifying that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode. 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. If you're not familiar with that, why don't you take a note and then check it out. Roger, Roger.
Why don't you take a note and then check it out. Roger, Roger.
I will check it out. I'm very new to this radio, and I would not know where I could find the bandpass on this SDR.
Yes, sir. Usually in settings, but that could be totally different. So our setup starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. Compression on and at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it does exactly what we needed to do to wind up with a 3 dB transmit dynamic range at the end of our setup. So compression on at a 3. Roger?
At the end of our setup. So compression on at a 3. Roger?
Whiskey 4 Charlie Bravo Hotel. I don't know what's going on. I just switched radios to a 7300. Over.
Ah, well, that was a quick fix. You're on a 7300 now?
Ah, well, that was a quick fix. You're on a 7300 now?
Roger, Roger.
All righty. If you're interested in our setup, starts with you again. Make a note about that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. In the 7300, it's called the wide mode. Transmit bandpass 100 to 2900. Roger.
Transmit bandpass 100 to 2900. Roger. Roger, Roger.
And that's in settings. That's in settings. You should be able to find that in settings. Roger.
In settings. That's in settings. You should be able to find that in settings. Roger.
It's called TBW, transmit bandwidth.
It's called TBW, transmit bandwidth.
If I can find it under settings. Over.
We doubled. Repeat your last, Cliff.
We doubled. Repeat your last, Cliff.
I can't find it under settings. That's what I don't understand. Either I've hit something and I've passed it, but I bring up memory and I go into settings and I can't find it. Over. Well,
yeah, it should be. You've got an X there with a crowbar and a pipe wrench or something. It's called settings. It should be in there. But just take a note on that to check that and make sure you are in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode on the 7300. But our setup actually starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. So that's pretty easy on the 7300. Engage your compressor at a 3. Roger.
The 7300, engage your compressor at a 3. Roger.
The compress is on and it's at 3. Yes, sir.
Roger, Roger. Now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, say the word, don't stress it, just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO. Stretch out the first part of that, audio. You become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter reads 2/3. Roger?
Your mic gain until your ALC meter reads 2/3. Roger. Roger, Roger.
And you might look at that a second time.
And you might look at that a second time.
Alrighty, now let's move to your equalization. That's tone control in settings, tone control, single sideband, and what are your readings on transmit, treble, and bass EQ?
Readings on transmit, treble, and bass EQ.
Yeah, Cliff, we are running a 7300 out there, right?
Yeah, Cliff, we are running a 7300 out there, right?
Roger, roger.
Roger, roger. So it should be settings, tone control, sideband, and that should give you treble and bass EQ.
And that should give you treble and bass EQ.
You know, when I go to that, I go to sideband, nothing happens. I don't see anything.
Well, you select sideband, and that should take you to, your tone control.
Your tone control.
That's what I'm saying. I hit tone control and nothing happens. Let me do it again. Over.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I see is transmit and receive. Over.
Okay, hit transmit.
Okay, hit transmit.
The bass is at actually 0, and the transmit treble is at 0, and the wide is at 100 to 2900. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, on your treble EQ, I want you to advance that 3 clicks. Boost treble EQ from where you are. So you're running at +3 treble EQ. Roger?
Where you are. So you're running at +3 treble EQ. Roger?
It's showing treble is at 0. Over.
Yes, sir. I want you to advance your treble EQ to +3. +3. Roger, roger.
3 +3. Roger, roger.
Roger, roger.
All right, Cliff, I want you to tell me in 10 to 15 seconds about the best thing you like about your radio.
Tell me in 10 to 15 seconds about the best thing you like about your radio.
It's fantastic as far as I'm concerned, being new to this after about 30 years away from ham radio, but and it's fairly easy to manipulate through the settings compared to some of the others I've seen. Over.
Roger, roger. Cliff, now, are you using the supplied hand mic, the original hand mic on that 7300?
Supplied hand mic, the original hand mic on that 7300?
Roger, roger.
All right, I want to tell you just how to run that mic. I want you to pull it to the corner of your mouth, to the corner of your lips, and talk across it. Do not talk straight into it, but pull it to the side of your mouth and talk across it. Roger?
Into it, but pull it to the side of your mouth and talk across it. Roger?
Roger, roger. Roger, roger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roger, roger.
Roger. Now pull it just a little bit further back than that. Just a little bit. Just like a quarter of an inch further back than where you were.
A little bit. Just like a quarter of an inch further back than where you were.
Whiskey 4, Charlie, Bravo, Hotel. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Over.
Yes, sir, Cliff. Yay! You got it, buddy. That sounds just great. So why don't you, now that I got you sounding so good, why don't you tell me about your antenna for 10 or 15 seconds so I can get a good recording on you?
About your antenna for 10 or 15 seconds so I can get a good recording on you.
The antenna is a 5-fan dipole, handmade, that I have it out. It's listed. The length is for 80 meters, but I don't know why, and I'm not going to change anything. I actually can pick up 160 all the way through 6 meters with just the radio and no external tuner, and it's fantastic all the way through all bands. I don't know what I did, but whatever I did, I am not changing it. Over.
Roger, Roger. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sounds great. I would just run it like that. And your radio sounds beautiful, too. And if you'd like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that a little slower, please?
Yes, sir. Go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Again, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, with the word logbook after the call sign, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This will be cut number 1, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger, this has been Special English from the VOA.
Tomorrow, Roger. This has been Special English from the VOA.
Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir, Cliff. We'll, like I said, we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So I think you'll like your recording. 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Germany forward, Japan Hotel.
All right, I'm copying something Alpha 3 Japan Hotel. Is that correct?
All right, I'm copying something Alpha 3 Japan Hotel. Is that correct?
Close enough. It's Alpha Golf 4 Japan Hotel. Alpha Golf 4 Japan Hotel, and the name is Oscar. The name is Oscar, and we're in Miami, Florida. QSO?
Roger, Oscar, down in Florida. Boy, oh boy. You know, our one of our mantras when we were building our station was 20 over from Montreal to Miami, but we never could find anybody in Montreal, and we never could find anybody in Miami. So I don't know how far you might be from Miami, but there you go.
I don't know how far you might be from Miami, but there you go.
Roger. Well, that's terrific. Montreal to Miami, but you couldn't get it to work. My goodness. Well, we're located in the heart of Miami, Florida, in downtown Miami, Florida, about 13 minutes from the skyscrapers. And we've been trying to work you for a couple of years now, even since before the pandemic. Jim, we've been trying to work you, but propagation hasn't been good. Finally, we made a contact, and I am so happy. You made me a very happy camper today. Alpha, which 922 Alpha, which helps a big deal there. So we're running about 700 watts on a rain gutter antenna. We are on a vertical downspout antenna. But Jim, what am I and my pleasure is to work you, and thank you for all the help that you do to everyone that comes to your receiver, my friend. Back to you, Jim, from AG4JH.
Roger, Oscar. Well, gosh, I only have about a 2 or 3 dB copy on you. I've been around the horn. You know, we run 4 internet SDR receivers, New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, and you're about plus 2 to 3 on all of those, but you're everywhere. So, you know, and I'm copying your audio and understanding your audio, and you're only 2 dB over my noise, or their noise level, so you're set up pretty good on your audio, Roger.
So you're set up pretty good on your audio, Roger. on the nets and make a couple of contacts. And to my surprise, I am getting good signal reports there, Jim, which is absolutely unbelievable. So we're tickled pink with the rain gutter antenna. It's very streamlined and very stealth, and we just might keep it there. And again, the rig is the Icon 7300. We're using a foam cover. We are using a foam cover on the stock microphone, Jim. I've noticed that helps with the plosives a great deal. And as ridiculous as it looks, it is very helpful to my situation there. I tend to have a lot of pop in the P's and S's when I speak, so I hope it doesn't sound too offensive there, Jim. Back to you from AG4JH.
Roger, Roger, Oscar, no, it just sounds perfect there. I don't know exactly what you were saying about that foam windscreen, but, you know, if you're running something less than a foam windscreen, I would suggest that you go down to your local music store and pick up a foam windscreen that would just fit over that microphone, and it would be no frequency discrimination. You would get full range frequency transmit through that foam windscreen, but it would cut out all of the mouth noise, and I think you've got that right now, but you know, depending on what you're using, you could be rolling off some of the top end, so that's why I suggest a you know, microphone foam windscreen, you know, which is dedicated to the purpose and does not do anything as far as rolling out any of the frequencies. Roger, Roger?
Do anything as far as rolling out any of the frequencies. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger. Okay, very good. Well, we've got the screen. So we took it out of the boom microphone, and we put it onto the hand microphone, and at least when I copy myself on a web SDR online, it seems to make a difference there with the closeness, Jim. But Jim, by the way, you reported the 5 knots to Miami, Florida today. I know it's not Montreal to Miami, but I believe you're in Indiana. We've been trying to get a hold of you for years, Jim. Thank you so much for picking me up, my friend. Back to you.
Yes, sir, Oscar. Well, let me say 73 to you, sir. You're sounding good there. You know, that audio is really set up nice. I'm copying you down to just a dB over the noise level. So I'm copying and understanding what you're saying down to a dB, just a dB over the noise level of, I think I wound up in Arlington, that last transfer. I'm getting a little QRM sideband stuff from somebody a couple of clicks away. But anyway, you know, you're making it through in fine style, and I am copying you. Now we'll have this posted on YouTube tomorrow, and if you're running that hand mic, let me just give you a suggestion to just pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. That will minimize anything that might be happening as far as plosives, and that just by working that mic to the corner of your lips. Roger, Roger?
Just by working that mic to the corner of your lips. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger. We will do that. We have to get into the habit of doing that indeed there, Jim. We will definitely do that, Jim. Well, I hope you copy my 7-3s. If we don't talk again before the holidays, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving and an early Christmas, my friend. But I'm sure we'll speak before the holidays there, Jim. Jim, thanks for making it happen. Like I said, it's been years and years I've been trying to work you, and we finally got it, my friend. All the best to you. 73, Jim, and thanks for picking me up from Miami, Florida.
Roger, Roger. Oscar, 73 down that way, sir. Say hello to everybody. You know, my hometown was West Palm Beach there as a young lad before I moved north to further my broadcast career. So 73, Oscar, thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, drop by next Friday. We'd love to have you. 73. This is KC9VKV, and gosh, I see by the wall clock there's a dead fly, so we got to get out of here. It's 5 o'clock, and we've enjoyed it. If you have and you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. I will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and this will be cut number 1, as we said, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So, with that all being said, we got to get out of here, and we will be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, clear.
So Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, clear.
Kilo Uniform 4, November Yankee.
November Yankee, what was that call sign again, please?
November Yankee, what was that call sign again, please?
Yeah, thank you. Kilo Uniform 4, November Yankee. Kilo Uniform 4, November Yankee.
November Yankee, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
November Yankee, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Okay, the name is Tony, Tango Oscar November Yankee. I don't want to keep you. I know you're trying to get out of here, but I'm just trying to set up the audio on my brand new FTDX 10, and I'd appreciate just a quick comment on the audio there. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. FTDX 10. And let's see here. Okay. And Tony, where are you, sir?
Let's see here. Okay. And Tony, where are you, sir?
Okay, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. And you're running about, 25 to 30 over 9 here. And what was your name?
Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike. We're located on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. All right, so if you're interested in the setup, starts with you checking to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode. It's called wide, 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. Roger?
Wide, 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. Roger?
Roger, Jim. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've kind of stepped things up according to that, and still playing around with it, so I appreciate the tip, Jim. I won't keep you. I know you got to get out of here. So I'll say 73, thanks, and maybe I'll run into you again. KC9VKV, KU4Y is clear. 73, Jim, and thanks.
Roger, Roger. Tony, well, if you got just a minute, we could run through the setup and get you 10-8, as they say. Roger, Roger. Actually starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us get to our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of our setup. Roger. Transmit on compression at a 3.
End of our setup. Roger. Transmit on compression at a 3.
Okay, well, let's see. Let me just check that right now real quick. Let me bring that up.
Sounds real good right now.
Okay, my processor is now on 24. Did you say check the processor down about 3? Is that correct?
Well, it's a 3 out of 10 and a 30 out of 100, depending on how your compressor is labeled. It's only a third of the capability, so it's a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger.
A third of the capability, so it's a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger.
Okay, yeah, I got that, and yeah, I've got everything else. So this, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Yaesu, but it has 3. What do they call it? I guess, well, you're the audio expert, so it has the 3 categories of setups for it, the low, mid, and high range, and that's what I've been fooling around with, Jim. Go ahead.
On the EQ or the compression? It has a numerical compression input, like a 30 out of 100. Is that a Roger?
Numerical compression input, like a 30 out of 100. Is that a Roger?
Well, it has off through, I think it's off through 100, something like that. Right now, I'm at 100 now, and now I'm at about 50. Now I'm down to about 35, and now I'm about 24. Jim, do you hear the difference?
Yes, sir. So we want to be at 30. We want to set that at 30 on your compressor input, Roger.
Set at 30 on your compressor input, Roger.
Roger, got it on 30 now.
All right, let's move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it. Just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO, but stretch out the first audio part and become a human tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger?
Adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger?
Okay, let me just turn it to ALC. Yeah, ALC, it's just coming up to the top right now, just about to the top. You see about 2/3, so I'll lower it just a bit. And there's about a 29, 28 right now. Does it sound okay?
All right, Roger. So if you're at the 2/3 mark on your ALC, you should be in the right place, Roger.
On your ALC, you should be in the right place, Roger.
Roger, that's about where it is right now. Maybe just a little bit higher. So I'm getting it down a bit. Okay, now it's down a little bit more. Good.
Roger. What's your mic gain, your actual mic gain setting right now?
Roger. What's your mic gain, your actual mic gain setting right now?
The mic gain is at 19.
All right, bring that up to 25. Bring it up to 25 and tell me in 10 seconds about the thing you like best about your radio.
Tell me in 10 seconds about the thing you like best about your radio.
Okay, it's up to 25 now, and it's hard to say what I like best. I had a TS590 before I got this, and I've had this now for about a week and a half, and I've been playing around with it. It's a beautiful radio. I love it. Jim, go ahead.
Roger. Okay, let's go to your tone page, your equalization page, Roger.
Okay, let's go to your tone page, your equalization page, Roger.
Okay. All right, you copy?
Yes, sir. And I want you to increase your treble EQ by 3 clicks from where you are. Boost 3 clicks treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Boost 3 clicks treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Did you say treble?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just, sorry, I'm sorry to hold you up on here. I know you're trying to, I think you were trying to leave, and I don't want to hold you up, so please feel free to tell me if you've got to go. Let's see, the level is, you say about 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, okay, did it.
Alrighty, and what's your bass EQ at the moment?
Alrighty, and what's your bass EQ at the moment?
Right now, the level?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the bass level is -8.
All right, so make it to 2 more minus to 10, -10, I guess, on that EQ. And you have a 2-band or 3-band EQ?
And you have a 2-band or 3-band EQ?
It's a 3-band.
All right, and your mid control is flat, plus or minus 0. It's mid-tone is flat. Roger.
Mid-tone is flat. Roger.
Well, I've got the level on 7, so let me just try something here quick.
Yeah, Tony, because that's the thing, you want to flat on your mid-range, because all equalizers are designed to strike a balance from the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And if you mess with the mid-range, it becomes so much more difficult to strike a balance. So all EQs should be flat in the mids. It makes it so much easier to EQ. And so much so that ICOM on their 7300 and 7610 don't even put a mid-range control in there. They only have a top and bottom control because they want that flat, that treble to that mid-range to be flat. Roger.
That flat, that treble to that mid-range to be flat. Roger.
Roger. Okay, I've got the level now at 0. So, and I sure appreciate your advice here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's at 0 here, Jim. Thanks. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay, so take your how much more can you boost your top end? What do you have left in your treble EQ range?
Top end. What do you have left in your treble EQ range?
You mean the frequency?
No, it's a treble EQ. It's a 3-band treble EQ, and you have treble EQ. And how much more push can you get out of that treble EQ?
And how much more push can you get out of treble EQ?
As far as the level?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's see. It's I've got it at the top end now. It's at 10, and now it's at -20, and now it's up back to 10. So 10 is the highest, Jim.
All right, we want to run that in 10. Now, you wouldn't happen to have a parametric EQ where you can change your frequencies. Those are set bass, mid-range, and treble frequencies. Is that a Roger?
Bass, mid-range, and treble frequencies. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, but I can change the frequencies in all three.
Oh, okay. Well, that treble EQ, you should change that to 2.7K. That's where you want to push on your treble EQ. 2.7K on your treble EQ. And if you have a bandwidth of 4, 2.7K, bandwidth of 4 on your treble EQ.
2.7K, bandwidth of 4 on your treble EQ.
Okay, I just changed that to 4, and the frequency is at 2.8 kilohertz. 2.8, 2800. That's where I have it right now.
Yes, sir. You want to move that to 2.7, and can you make it a bandwidth 4? You have shaping capabilities?
The bandwidth 4, you have shaping capabilities?
Yep, Roger. So I've got the frequency at 2.7, level is at 10, bandwidth at 4.
All right, and you're working directly into that mic. You don't have anything in front of it or anything. And is that a desk mic or a hand mic?
You don't have anything in front of it or anything. And is that a desk mic or a hand mic?
No, it's a headset. As a matter of fact, hang on. I think I'm on processing. Let me double check.
Doesn't sound like it has much top end at all.
It has much top end at all.
Let me turn the processor off. All right, the processor's off, and the rig has settings with processing on and then also for processing off. I was adjusting the controls for processor off while processor was actually on. So I just turned it off, and I apologize. Does this sound okay?
All right. What you want to do is keep your processor on, and then you have a setting that you can EQ with your processor on. Is that correct?
You can EQ with your processor on. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Let me do that right now.
All right, so compressor on at a 3, and then go back to your EQ page, your tone page, and we'll work from there.
Your tone page, and we'll work from there.
Okay, I'm there now.
All right, so your compressor is on and at a 3, Roger.
WA2HQ. All right, so your compressor is on and at a 3, Roger.
It's at a. I'm sorry. Hang on for a second. Whiskey Alpha 2 Hotel Quebec Lima.
Hotel Quebec Lima, stand by just a moment, sir. I'm trying to help this gentleman, and I got to get out of here. So if you would stand by just a moment.
Help this gentleman, and I got to get out of here. So if you would stand by just a moment.
I just wanted to tell you he needs to turn on the EQ and the function control.
I think that's what he was doing. I'm not real sure, but Tony, you have that gentleman is Ed Burse on the information on that FTDX10. Sir, would you tell him what to do there?
FTDX10. Sir, would you tell him what to do there?
Okay, what he does in the function, under function, you go in there and it says EQ. Would you have to turn that on? It's all automatically off from the factory. So you got to, if anything, he can make all the adjustments he wants, and until he turns that EQ on, you won't notice any difference.
I copied that, Jim. And before I apologize, the mic EQ was off all that time. Now it's on. And Jim, if you have to go, I don't want to hold you up unnecessarily here. And the other gentleman, I appreciate him coming in here. Go ahead, Jim. KU4
Roger, Tony. I think you're sounding better now. That treble EQ is 2.7K on the frequency plus max what it is, and at a width of 4. Is that a Roger?
Max what it is, and at a width of 4. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, let me get back to here. I'm very sorry. Let me just get to the... okay, this is with the... okay, let's see. Okay, the frequency on the treble, the equalizer 3 is 2.4, 2400 hertz.
All right, you want to make that 2.7. 2.7, roger, roger.
All right, you want to make that 2.7. 2.7, roger, roger.
Roger, roger. So 2.7 now, and I have the level at 5 and the bandwidth at 1.
Bandwidth should be at 4. Bandwidth should be at 4.
Bandwidth should be at 4. Bandwidth should be at 4.
Okay, it's at 4, and the level is at 5.
All right, advance your level 3 clicks more. 3 clicks additional push at, 3 clicks additional push at 2.7K.
3 clicks additional push at 2.7K.
Okay, it's up at 3 more than it was before. Can you notice the difference?
Yes, sir. Now, what is, how much more can you go on your push? Can you go to 10?
Yes, sir. Now, what is, how much more can you go on your push? Can you go to 10?
Yeah, I'm sure I can. Hang on, let's see. Yep, it's at 10 now. That's as high as it goes.
All right, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system in 10 or 15 seconds.
Give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system in 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay. It's a homebrew G5 RV. Yeah, the whole setup is the FTDX10 going to a Telecraft KPA 500 amplifier through an LVG auto tuner to the G5 RV antenna, Jim. KC9VKV, KU4NY. And the other gentleman, I don't know what his call was, if he's still in there. So that's the setup here, Jim.
Yes, sir. Okay, I want you to go back to your ALC and double-check your level now that we've been messing around with your EQ quite extensively. And we want to reset that level, and you know how. Watch your ALC as you say the magic word audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3. Roger?
And adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3. Roger?
Okay, audio, it's about 2/3 right now. This is about 2/3.
Alrighty, and what is your bass EQ now? What is your bass EQ? Before that, your mid-range is flat. Is that a Roger?
Before that, your mid-range is flat. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, let me get back to it. I'm sure it is. Hang on just a half sec.
Make a comment, sir?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go.
Kilo November 3, Quebec out of Myrtle Beach. Yeah, he just sounds a little bassy, but he's starting to clear up. I have a DX10. I don't know his call sign, but I have a basic format for the DX10 audio and EQ equalizer. KN3Q, just thought I'd drop that in there.
I appreciate that, sir. I'm listening to him, and I'm putting him exactly where I want to put him EQ-wise. He's dealing with his equalizer. He's working on what his baseline is now on the EQ, and, we'll take it from there. So, Tony, what is your bass currently reading on your EQ?
Tony, what is your bass currently reading on your EQ?
Okay, the bass is 500 hertz. The level is at -20. Do you want me to zero that out?
All right, that you only have a bass control, one bass control. Is that a Roger?
All right, that you only have a bass control, one bass control. Is that a Roger?
No, I've got the bass frequency, level, and bandwidth.
But okay, so if you're at 500 cycles on your low control, turn that to 200 cycles. We want to cut and boost at 200 cycles on that EQ. So 200 cycles, bandwidth of 4, and let me hear you.
Bandwidth of 4, and let me hear you.
Okay, 200 cycles, bandwidth at 4, and the level is now at -2.
I take that to -4.
I take that to -4.
-4 now. That's at -4.
Alrighty, and tell me the best thing you like about amateur radio there, Tony.
Alrighty, and tell me the best thing you like about amateur radio there, Tony.
Wow. Good question, Jim. Yeah, I've been at it since the late 60s, on and off over the years, and the last few years I've gotten back into it. Not real heavy, but a whole lot more than I had in the past, Jim, and it's a lot of fun. I like chasing DX and a little rag joint once in a while. And that's about a KC9VKV, KU4NY.
Roger, Tony, what type mic? Is that a hand mic that you're running right now?
Roger, Tony, what type mic? Is that a hand mic that you're running right now?
No, this is a Heil headset. It's the ProSet 6 with the 6 mic.
Yes, sir. Okay, what I want you to do, if you have any leeway or movement on that boom mic, I want you to move that boom mic straight out in front of you as far as you can get it. Straight out in front of you as far as you can get that boom, and then at the last minute, make a 90-degree turn. But in the meantime, take that boom as far in front of you as you can get it, and at the last minute, make a 90 on your boom, or on your microphone. Roger?
Last minute, make a 90 on your boom, or on your microphone. Roger?
Okay, I think that's it.
All right, so it's maximum extended forward and then just at the last minute 90 degrees, Roger?
Forward and then just at the last minute 90 degrees, Roger?
Well, I think so. Let me try it again.
Yeah, because the further you get that boom mic in front of you, the better off you are. If you get it up close, it's not good. You get a lot of mouth noise, and also you change the frequency response of the element. So you want to get it as far out in front of you as you can, and then at the last minute, make a 90 on the element itself. Roger?
Make a 90 on the element itself. Roger?
Okay, I understand perfectly now, and so that's not the way I had it before, but that's great advice, I guess. So, yeah, it's straight out, then I bent the microphone towards me as far as, no, not as far as it would go, but it's fairly close to 90 degrees, Jim.
Yes, sir, a lot better. Now, I want you to go back to your ALC and double-check your level again, because we've made a major adjustment to the proximity to the microphone. So I want you to go back to your ALC and reset your level mid-scale to 2/3 reference on your ALC meter.
I'm sorry, to 2/3 reference on your ALC meter.
Okay, I'm on the ALC meter, and yes, it's, okay, I'm going to bring it up a little bit now. And let's see, there we go. Audio. Okay, it's about, that's a little bit more than 2/3. There we go. How's that?
Yes, sir. Now, on that bass EQ, I want you to roll 2 more clicks on the bottom end of your bass. You're running 200 cycles at a 4 width. I want you to roll it off 2 more dB as far as attenuation, not the width and not the frequency, but the level. Roger?
Width and not the frequency, but the level. Roger?
Okay, I knocked it down another 2. It went from -4 to -6. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I want you to go back and double-check your ALC. That's the thing. See, anytime you make something two clicks or more, you need to go back to your ALC and double-check your level. And 2 to 1 will be pretty close, but you want the ALC is your Bible, and you want to run that at 2/3. Roger?
You want the ALC is your Bible, and you want to run that at 2/3. Roger?
Okay, Roger. Okay, it's going to drop it down a little bit more. Audio, and it's right at about 2/3 right now, Jim.
Yes, sir. Now, do you have any treble EQ left? Do you have any more treble EQ push left?
Do you have any more treble EQ push left?
I think I do. Let me get back to that menu here. Treble EQ, that's EQ number 3 in this rig. So, you're talking about the level?
Yes, sir. Level push, 3 more clicks, treble EQ boost. 3 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are.
Treble EQ boost. 3 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are.
Okay, it's up as far as it will go. It goes up to 10, and that's where it stops. The bandwidth is at 4 frequency of 2700.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's the way to run it. You know, it'd be nice to have a couple of more clicks, but I don't want you to take it off the bottom end because I think you're best right where you are. Roger, Roger.
I think you're best right where you are. Roger, Roger.
Wow, well, thank you very much. Hey, Jim, I really appreciate your time. I heard you say to the last gentleman that you were in the broadcast business. Are you an audio engineer?
No, sir. I spent 50 years in commercial broadcasting. Last at a 50 kW AM as production director. Roger.
50 kW AM as production director. Roger.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, listen, I appreciate it. This is great because for novices like me, it's just tough trying to deal with all these parameters. I don't have much to work with here in terms of listening to my own signal. So you think we're pretty much where we should be right now?
Yes, sir. You have very good clarity. Your level is about 3 dB, which is just perfect. You went from probably about 30 dB average peak modulation to 80 to 85. So I think you're in good stead. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call it or search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, and you'll be able to hear the difference between our beginnings and our endings. Roger?
Hear the difference between our beginnings and our endings. Roger?
Okay, that's great, Jim. I'll do that. Do I have your call correct? KC9 Victor Kilo Victor?
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Okay. Can I ask just one more? Let me just turn the processor off and see if it's okay. Hang on a sec. Okay, the processor is off. Does it still sound okay?
Yes, sir, but you really need that on for you to make a 3 dB dynamic range, and that will only with that processor on will you get that 80 to 85% average peak modulation. And that's the important thing. We've designed this thing to be as loud as we can possibly do, but still keep the audio crystal clear. The compressor acts two ways. It acts as a compressor as far as pulling a little bit up, but more than that, it acts as pulling hard stuff down. And so we're set up for 3 dB dynamic range, and if you push harder, you start going 2.5 dB, 2 dB, and then your words start to blur. So that's the second advantage of having the compressor on. Roger?
So that's the second advantage of having the compressor on. Roger?
Okay, that's great. Well, you've given me quite a lesson here this afternoon, Jim, and I certainly appreciate it. I'm glad I kind of ran across you giving the other gentleman the advice you were giving. Bust in and ask for your help with this. So thank you very, very much. I enjoyed it, and sure glad I had a chance to meet you, and I'm going to be very anxious to get some audio reports from some of my friends and see if they can notice a difference. They've been not critical, but they've been trying to give me some advice on how to get this thing shaped up, and I think we did a great job here today, Jim, and I appreciate it very much. So I'll let you go. I know that you're trying to get out of there. So again, thanks very much. KC9VKV, KU4NY is clear after you, Jim. 73s, and thanks again.
Roger, Tony, and your last transmission, you were about 12 over on the Georgia SDR, which I've been using to copy the mail on you. So 73, sir, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. So we've got to get out of here, and we'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, clear.